Try to make sure the balance is right. Jab, 2 times, and like this. Then I start going this way. Jab.
Good. Swing to the side. Turn. Yeah, you up in the air.
It's like, it's always gonna be somebody older than somebody in this life. You're never gonna be the youngest and you're never gonna be the oldest. And so you have an example on both sides that, you know, if you don't pay attention and you don't know you well to, can you do this at this time or not? You know what I'm saying? You know.
Mike Tyson is working hard in training camp under Evander Holyfield's watchful eye, picking up boxing skills and sharpening his footwork ahead of his bout with Floyd Mayweather. Every word of advice from the former champ is being taken in with full focus, drive, and energy.
Here, then you step to the right. You just try to make a complete circle. And it's all about making the circle and go back here, just warming your leg.
Mike is putting Evander Holyfield's coaching to good use in camp, showing up faster, lighter on his feet, and clearly grateful for the wisdom the veteran champion brings to the table.
It's about your legs and your posture. Your posture straight and making sure you got a good midsection. You got to tighten that stomach up. That's what a lot of times people don't understand.
Evander Holyfield says people are making too big a deal of Mike fighting at this age. Fear only takes hold when you let it. Courage is what makes the fight truly matter.
If you allow yourself to do that, I'm saying it's up to me to allow myself to be afraid. I'm talking about at any given time, anything. Whether I know how to do it or not. You know, the Bible said, fear not. It's up to you to fear. That's a choice. It's not that you have to, but in any situation, when it comes down, when you really want to do something real well, you know, fear is just right there, like that, ready to catch you if you heed to it. When you're young, you make mistakes, and when you're older, you make mistakes. Sometimes people forget about when you get older. But you know, you have a choice to make. You know, it's a choice you have to make, and you have to be honest with yourself. When honesty comes from yourself, then you ain't gonna do nothing to prove a lot of people.
Mike Tyson is going all out in training camp, drilling hard and zeroing in on precision, power, and speed. Every session, he pushes himself to the limit, fueled by pure determination and an unstoppable drive.
Hey, Mike, what was the name of the theater that Corbett, Mike, he's like, yeah, such as he said the right name. I was like, God, I could never get him. I could never get it.
A true champion never loses that edge. The fire, the heart, the spirit, it never leaves him. That champion DNA runs deep, and it's still very much alive.
The only champ. You ain't got nothing to look to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my turn now. How about that? That's what ultimately, when you say the world champ, you don't want to send somebody else across the street say, I'm the champ too. I ain't worried he can say he the world champ.
Mike Tyson is all business during mitt work in training camp. His punches hit hard, his feet move clean, and his focus never wavers. With every strike, you can see the strength and intensity building.
Turn. Yeah, you're up in the air.
Check cross the sleep.
Look where you are. Yeah, look where you are. It's beautiful. Beautiful, baby.
Nice one, Mike. Nice one, Mike. What's the best one? Yeah, what's the best one, coach?
There you go, man.
What's the best one, coach? Roll up, man. Hey, push up. Isso, that's it. Roll. Push up. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Look where your left hook is when you finish, Mike.
Gene Kilroy is keeping Mike Tyson fired up in training camp, building his confidence and pushing him to give even more.
How old you are, it's how old you feel.
I don't feel
what the word old. I don't feel that.
No. Well, you're smart going into the new wave.
No, it's always the old wave. It's always this.
Yeah.
I could do all this stuff and I have this and this.
Yeah, that's what you need. The will determine the skill.
Yes.
The story of success is be around successful people.
I don't believe that.
No. What can you lose? What can you win from a loser?
Huh? You can learn how not to lose.
Huh?
You can learn how not to lose.
Okay, you learn now not to lose.
Yeah.
But you don't,
You get more out of losing than you do out of winning.
Okay, you're my friend.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a heart operation.
Yes.
But there's a good guy's going to operate on me. Nice guy, nice guy. But there's another guy's who did 20 operations. Who are you going to recommend?
Gene Kilroy keeps Mike Tyson locked in during heavy bag work, praising his power, demanding more intensity, and building the belief and grit of a true champion.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's reverse.
20 seconds. It's in the air. It's just like that.
You did more workouts than what I seen you than the whole time you fought Lennox Lewis. Am I right or wrong?
Different era, brother.
There's a whole new ball game. I'm proud of you, Mike.
Mike Tyson walks into this fight with zero doubts. He still believes he's the greatest, and that champion mentality hasn't faded one bit.
It's a war. When we left the fuck alone. You gotta really believe that. It's all I ever lived for. It's all I ever lived for. Doubt should be eliminated. You should be a doubt annihilator. My mentor made me look at that little man and I said, I want it all. I want it all. You be careful what you wish for. Thank you. You kill people in the ring, you should kill doubt in your mind and in your soul and your heart, kill it.
Mike is hitting the heavy dumbbells hard, working on strength, stamina, and raw, explosive power.
Don't fight, I give you money. Are you fucking crazy?
Only 12. That's all we want. To the middle. 1, 2, 3.
A little slow on the way down.
4. There we go. 9. One more.
Slow.
10. No problem. Fucking great set. Best set yet. Final round. Last one, Mike. Nice and strong. 30 times. Touch and go. 1, 2. Here we go. 3, 4. Nice. 5. Yes, sir. 6, 7.
Strong.
8. Strong. 9.
Got
this.
We go.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 8, 9. One more. 10 up. Nice work, Mike. Yes, sir.
Daniel Cormier weighed in on the exhibition matchup between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather Jr., pointing out just how odd the pairing looks on paper. He drew attention to the big physical gap between the two legends. Tyson made his name as a heavyweight force, while Mayweather built his career in much lighter divisions, starting out around 130 pounds and never coming close to heavyweight territory even as he moved up in weight.
Was fighting at 154, and he was severely undersized at 154. Floyd Mayweather was a guy that fought in the 130s to start his career, and then fought up as high as 160 maybe. Floyd Mayweather was a small guy. He's now going to fight Mike Tyson, who is the heavyweight champion in the world. I respect these two men so great a degree that it's hard for me to almost make negative statements about them. But I think that our job as talking heads is to tell you the truth, regardless of how much you admire someone or the applause and adulation you have for them. You got to tell them the truth. I don't get this. I don't get this for the life of me, because by all...
Daniel Cormier said the sheer size difference alone is enough to turn heads, but what really makes this matchup interesting, in his view, is the clash of styles. raw heavyweight power going up against polished technical skill. One fighter built his name by overwhelming opponents with force, the other by outsmarting them with timing, precision, and defensive mastery. Cormier also noted that both men came up in different eras, facing different competition and developing under very different circumstances. One became a legend through explosive knockouts, the other through total ring control. It's that combination of physical contrast and clashing styles, Cormier says, that makes this fight so hard to stop talking about.
Life on track, has a great wife that helps him manage all those things, made a boatload of money to fight Jake Paul last year. It's not a money play. Floyd, I saw a thing this morning, him talking about keeping his money clean, stuffing hundreds of thousands of dollars in a plastic bag. These guys don't need money. A lot of times when you get these great champions fighting well past their prime, it's to make cash. We see it a lot. These two don't seem to need the money. So I don't understand the need to do this. When talked about it, Mike Tyson said, I still can't believe Floyd wants to really do this. It's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it. So it's signed and it's happening. Hey, when Mike fought Jake,
Exhibit fights involving retired champions often draw criticism, but many people see it differently. From their perspective, veteran fighters returning to the spotlight aren't tarnishing their legacy, they're simply making the most of a lifetime of hard work and sacrifice. Combat sports demand an enormous amount physically and mentally, often starting from a young age and lasting through years of brutal competition. Those who support these events point out that fighting careers tend to be much shorter than most other professions.
Let them get their money. They're going to make a lot of money. Mike Tyson makes the money to give to his kids. Floyd makes the money to show us, right? Let them make their money. Why not? It's the exhibition style. They got history. They don't like each other. They are two of the biggest imposing figures in boxing history. Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, and Muhammad Ali. Right? So they're going to make a lot of money. A lot of people going to tune in and they're going to watch it. They don't like each other. So even though it's an exhibition style, you best believe it's not going to count against their actual record, but it's a real fight. And Mike Tyson is not going to hold back no punches. Like
the chance to earn big at the top level can disappear fast. Age, injuries, or changes in the industry can cut a career short without warning. If well-known names can still draw a crowd in a controlled exhibition setting, many see that as a smart move, not a desperate one. There's also the matter of personal choice. Veteran fighters know the risks better than anyone. They've lived through grueling training camps and championship pressure their whole careers. For many of them, these appearances are about celebrating what they've built, securing their financial future, and sharing one last moment with the fans who backed them from the start.
Tyson, you could believe that. This is going to be a real fight. Once it's exhibition style, so it won't count against their box rec. And it's not sanctioned by a commission or any of that or that, but you best believe they're gonna want to. So they're gonna make a lot of money, and it's gonna be entertaining because they don't like each other. There's bad blood. They're gonna let them fly, and neither one of them wants to go home saying they lost to the other one. Mike Tyson has been, making passes at trying to. He wanted to hit Floyd at the WBC convention. Remember that famous epic moment where he walks up past Floyd and he's receiving his belt and he just flinches at Floyd. And Floyd don't budge. You're just looking at him, right? Mike Tyson always say he a scared little man walking around with all the security. They don't like each other.
One of the biggest talking points heading into the Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather Jr. exhibition is their ages. Tyson is closing in on 59 and Mayweather is 48, both well past the peak years for professional fighters. In a sport where split-second reflexes, stamina, and quick recovery are everything, age is a very real factor. boxing is physically unforgiving. Speed drops, durability fades, and the body needs more time to bounce back from hard exchanges. Both men have clearly kept themselves in great shape, but stepping into a ring at this stage of life always comes with risk.
To be, though, is less so a fight promotion and more so rights holders. They hold the global rights to HBO World Championship Boxing and a number of other Comcast events. Basically, their business is they lease out the rights for footage to old fights to different networks or entities. So it is a bit weird to see them involved in a fight which I would have to assume the cost would be close to 9 figures to stage. It's just honestly puzzling, but seeing there's apparently more information about broadcast partnerships to come, I guess we'll see soon who else is in.
An age gap of more than 10 years adds another layer to this matchup, raising real questions about reflexes, conditioning, and the ability to maintain pace over multiple rounds. As fighters get older, timing and reaction speed naturally dip, and stamina can become unpredictable, especially under the bright lights. But experience is a powerful equalizer. Decades of ring intelligence, tactical sharpness, and staying calm under pressure can go a long way in making up for what the body can no longer do on its own. Still, the fact that both men are at this stage of their careers makes this more than just entertainment. It's a real chance to see resilience, adaptability, and longevity on full display. A real look at how elite fighters face the challenge of age while still performing at a high level.
Show just how big an exhibition fight can truly be. Now, exhibitions are a thing we've seen throughout the history of boxing. It's nothing new. Even the great Ali ended up in odd exhibitions for big paydays. Yet what Paul Tyson showed is you can take a fighter like Tyson, who doesn't have much left to give, and whip up a promotion to make the public believe he's back in his prime, and as a result do some of the biggest numbers seen in the last decade. The quality of the fight itself doesn't matter because, hey, you're already watching. And at a guess, that's exactly what they're gonna try to do here. In the press release, they didn't really talk about how great of a fight it's gonna be, rather how robust their promotional campaign will be, with weekly premium storytelling, which of course probably will do numbers.
Combat sports commentator Wade Plemons recently came out with some strong concerns about the proposed exhibition between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather Jr. He argued that drawing comparisons between Tyson and Muhammad Ali can feel a little odd, especially given that Tyson himself has always looked up to Ali and never claimed to be greater. Plemons pointed out that the two icons competed in completely different weight classes at their peaks, making any fantasy matchup between them unrealistic in a real sanctioned fight.
Outside of watching Mike Tyson walk to the ring and the idea that maybe he'll knock out the little guy in Floyd that Tyson for a long time didn't like. For a long time called Floyd a small little angry man or a small little scared man because he couldn't walk his kids to school by himself, mainly because Floyd had, he kind of disrespected Muhammad Ali, who was Mike Tyson's favorite fighter and one that he would never put himself above. But Mike's 60 years old. And if there was a time for Mike to get him and knock him out or whatever, it never would have happened because they were in completely different weight classes and X, Y, Z. If you wanted to settle it outside of boxing, that's one thing, but now they're stepping into this exhibition. There's not going to be any weight classes, obviously, and there's not going to be really any winner to this, and I think we're all going to lose. I think us, the fans, are going to lose a big time because, again, I told you guys years ago that there is a certain brand of combat sports that does diminish fighters of the past, and it's...
He went on to say that exhibitions without proper weight limits or real stakes risk doing serious damage to a legend's legacy. Looking back at history, he brought up the bout between Evander Holyfield and Vitor Belfort under the Triller banner, describing how uncomfortable it was to watch a former champion compete so far past his best years. In his view, these events give younger or fresher opponents the chance to claim wins that simply would never have happened in a true prime versus prime matchup. Plemons acknowledged that the money side of things is understandable. Fighters deserve the cash in late in their careers, but he held firm that legacy should sometimes come before the paycheck. In his opinion, fans may walk away feeling let down after watching aging legends move carefully around the ring in what feels more like a controlled sparring session than a real fight.
On YouTube, but I can still stand here and tell you that there are certain fights that just shouldn't happen. Evander Holyfield should not have been fighting Vitor Belfort on whatever that triad promotion was. I think it was on Triller, and he looked awful because he was in his 60s, and Vitor got to say he knocked down and knocked out Evander Holyfield. And everybody knows that in Evander Holyfield's prime, he would have done work to Vitor Belfort in boxing. Same with this right here. This never would have been a prime for prime matchup. It would have made no sense to have happened, but if it did, Mike Tyson at 215 pounds, should he land at all on Floyd Mayweather, was going to send him to a different stratosphere. Now again, we understand the reasoning behind this, and I want both guys to get paid, but this is gonna be sad, and this is why I said sometimes you need to preserve your legacy, and I know Floyd says, legacy don't pay my bills, and clearly he's...
That's a wrap for today. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe so you never miss an update. Stay tuned for more.